talk to me about like that feeling of accomplishment as you were progressing, and was that what made you come back, or was it, talk to me more about that?
I think what made me come back was that I just didn't want to quit. Like I just wanted to see what I could accomplish. And I felt immediately as soon as joining Team Eagle One that I didn't want to let anyone else on the team down. That was always a really big motivator for me. On days that I didn't want to go to the gym, or I didn't want to run, or didn't want to train, I would make myself, because I didn't want to let any of the other guys down. And I knew that it would show on the next weekend, if I showed up for training, that people would notice and I would notice. I was always focused on keeping up with the one guy in front of me, which was Alec. And that was always a challenge. I could never catch him in most of the stuff, but that was a fun game.
Did you feel it? Like, I always wondered, I always needed to know, like, because for me, the runs, I'm not a runner. And so I was always like, is this not painful for you guys? And the crazy part was, I remember the first time when I joined and we did that warm-up run, that's a race. And I was like, it's a warm-up. Why is a warm-up a race? And I'm just so confused. And that's how we started every time, was like this warm-up race that was like a mile long. And you guys just put out every time. And then you guys just got faster and faster. And I was like, how are you guys doing? Are you not in pain?
Yeah, I was definitely in pain. I would feel it in my lungs because I also have like exercise asthma, not diagnosed, but there'll get to be a point where I just can't breathe anymore. I started to feel that most days that I'd be running at Team Eagle One, and I could taste after trainings, I would like be hacking up stuff, and it would taste metallic, like blood.
Yeah,
it was uncomfortable, but I think it was always worth the rewarding feeling afterwards.
How did you push through? What was going through your mindset during this time?
When I wanted to quit and slow down, if I was at that point, then I would just tell myself to keep that pace, and I would count until I would lose track of what number I was on. Like I'd count to 200 with each step, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'd start over. And that helped to keep my mind off of the discomfort that I was feeling. And besides that, it helped because I was almost always behind Alec. He was almost always faster than me. It helped me to focus on matching his pace. And that would be my goal if I was starting to slow down or able to keep up. My only goal would be to match his pace and follow his footsteps and try and keep that pace. So I'd just set that as my goal and focus on that for that run.
Now, when we were doing sit-ups and push-ups and flutter kicks and stuff, you mentioned in the very beginning of this interview that, you know, that was something that you struggled with in the beginning. When we were in push-up position, and sometimes we just had to like stay there, or like flutter kicks, and sometimes we just had to have our feet up. And for me, it was very painful. And how did you push through the pain to not quit?
I would think of how embarrassed I would be, or how I would be letting down my teammates if I didn't hold that position. And that was always a super good motivator for me. Sometimes if I was training on my own, I would let down that position just when it would get too hard. But it was always a big help to be around the other people that were working out so hard. And I just had so much respect for them. I didn't want to let anyone down. So I would hold it until failure most of the time.
No, you mentioned in the beginning too, like that you were nervous going to training, and you knew like each week it was just hard. Was there any point in those 9 months where like that went away?
That's a good question. And I had the same question when I joined, like, will this get more comfortable? And for me, it did not. I was always very nervous. Yeah, very stressed out about it. But I also found that stress helped me to stay on track, to stay training, and to keep it seriously, or take it seriously. I think that the stress was good. I think it pushed me a little bit also.